Hi guys, and welcome back to another new vlog. I hope you can hear me alright over the sound of this cascading brook that I'm standing next to at the moment. I'll try and speak up a bit so you can hear me, just in case the audio is a bit rubbish on here. But I'm stood here by a footbridge. I'm over in Church Stretton in the autumnal Valley, and I'm walking up towards the Lightspout Waterfall a little way up the valley here. And at the moment I've just stopped here because there are two footbridges across the stream I'm stood next to here, and you have to use both of these footbridges to get across one side and then back across the other side, because that's where the path leads you up on this particular side of the stream. But on the way up here, obviously I've spotted there's a great composition of the first bridge that you cross as you walk up, and I've had to stop here right by the second bridge and take a photo of that composition of that bridge a little further down the valley. It's a beautiful composition that I've shot before because I've been here before a few times, but also one thing I hadn't noticed previously when I've been here is there are two trees just on the far side of the stream here. I don't know how well you can see the bridge behind me that I've just crossed, and just to the side of that bridge on the opposite side of the bank in there over the other side of the stream, there are two trees which look absolutely beautiful, and I think I've managed to get a decent composition of both of those trees as well. Focused on the first of those trees, and I think it's about 1/15th or 1/30th of a second, f11 ISO 200, and I think that works quite well. But also I've done the same thing, same sort of settings with the bridge behind me, and that's mainly because the light keeps changing and so on, and makes it a lot easier to shoot with those particular settings. But whilst the light is changing, I'm also finding I'm having to bracket the exposures as well to make sure I get exactly the right exposure once I get back to the computer and look at these at home. But I hope you like these images. I'm going to try and move on towards the Lightspout Waterfall now. I don't know how far I will get up, but there are a lot of cascading little waterfalls along the way up this stream, so hopefully I'll be able to find a few more compositions along the way. So that behind me is the Lightspout Waterfall. That's where I've been trying to get to. I think there is a shot just across the other side of this stream here, and at the moment I don't think I can really get across. I have been over there before and taken a shot from that spot, but the water wasn't quite as deep and wasn't quite as rapid at the time, so I don't think there's much chance of me getting over there to take that shot now. But there is also another shot just in front of where I'm standing that might work out just as well. And then there are some steps going up the side of the waterfall, which I'm not going to do today. I'm going to head back down the valley in just a moment, but first of all I'm going to capture a couple of shots here of this waterfall. So just a little way behind me here obviously is the Lightspout Waterfall, and I've started to head back down the valley now from there. But on the way down the valley, or should I say on the way up the valley, on the way up here, I stopped off at a little spot just a few yards ahead of me here, or behind me as it is now, and there's a beautiful composition there, and I managed to get the shot that I wanted, but I couldn't do any filming because I was literally surrounded on all sides by about 1 million people. I'm not kidding, it was the busiest moment that I've had up here of any time I've been up here at all, and there were just people everywhere just talking, laughing and shouting and screaming and just generally having a good time, which I don't mind, but it just meant that it made it impossible for me to film any footage while I was taking that shot. So I've got the photo anyway, and that's the one I've shown you before the Lightspout Waterfall. It was a little bit of a cascade, much smaller of course than the waterfall, but one of the bigger cascades along this little valley here. So I stopped there to get that, and I had to focus stack that shot because I felt like it was the best idea to make sure I got everything in focus from front to back. I shot it, I think, at about 50 to 70 mil, somewhere around about that, because I was about the right distance away to capture it like that. With the 24 to 105 mil lens, and I think it was f16, and something like about a 30th of a second, the final image. So I hope you like that image, and I hope you like the image of the Lightspout waterfall. And with that one, I've had to bracket the exposures to make sure I get exactly the right exposure time. So those two images. I'm going to head back down now towards the valley, carry on through the valley, and see if I can get back down and take a few more interesting shots along the way. On the way down from the Lightspout waterfall back down through Carding Valley, I kind of wondered whether it would be possible to get a shot of both of these bridges behind me. These were the ones where I stopped before to capture a shot of the lower bridge as I was on my way past it. And at that point I was stood next to the higher bridge, and also captured that image of those two trees on the opposite side of the stream. Now I think I found a spot here where I can just about capture a shot of both of these bridges with a wide angle lens, of course. I think it's going to work quite well, but it does mean setting up the tripod in quite a precarious position and trying to work out how I can keep the camera steady whilst I'm taking this shot. But I'm going to give it a go anyway, just because I've thought about it, I've considered it, and it's one that I want to try and give a shot to. So let's have a go at this one. There was a junction of two paths back there, and just as you drop down past that junction of the two paths and cross the stream again to get back onto the path I needed to be on the opposite side of the stream, I noticed there earlier, as I got there before on the way up, that there was a decent composition of 2 or 3 small cascades just dropping down just above where the junction of the paths was. Now, to capture a shot of that, I had to stand quite close to the edge of the stream, and again get my tripod up in quite a precarious position to be able to capture the composition correctly. But I liked it because those 3, possibly 4 little cascades were creating an S-curve in the scene right across the middle of it, so I thought it was a great idea to capture that shot. But now I've left that junction of paths and continued back down the path through Carding Valley, and I'm heading back down now to a little tea room at the end of the valley, and then from there I'm going to head home basically. I think that's probably going to be the end of the vlog. There may be perhaps 1, maybe 2 more photos to take. I often say that nowadays, and if there is, I'll put those up at the end of the video. But in the meantime, if you've enjoyed today's vlog, please remember to give it a thumbs up, and also please remember to subscribe to the channel if you're not already. And I look forward to seeing you all again on another vlog very soon. Bye for now.